Local ag power. Who here likes food?
Yeah!
Well, either you're all lying or you're asleep. So, well, I have great news. Not only is locally grown food delicious, but it's great. It supports your local economy and is better for the environment. Most of our food is currently grown in industrial farms. These farms are very machine-based and are usually in other countries. The reason why locally grown food is so delicious is because hometown farmers use less pesticides and it doesn't rot when it's being shipped here. Like the boys at Polly Tree Farms, their chicken processing barns, which is where they kill chickens, isn't up to USDA standards. The USDA says it has to have white walls that are good for cleaning, but they use an open barn with no walls. The owner says, I reckon it to be cleaner, fresh air and none of the cleaning spray to be sprayed every hour. His chickens are actually cleaner than the ones being shipped in from USDA plants around the country. And his chicken has passed any test they threw at him, and he says he's pretty sure he'll pass every test to come. Local food supports the local economy just for the reason you think. The food grown here makes jobs for people all around you. A lot of work goes into turning a baby chick into dinner from a farmer's market. Workers move the eggmobiles, that's seriously what it's called, which houses around 70 chickens around the pastures. This keeps the grass from being overgrazed and fertilized. Now, workers collect chickens and process, again that means to kill, the chickens. More workers gut the chickens, and finally, workers clean the chickens and get them ready to sell at the farmer's market. Believe it or not, there are more workers that I forgot to mention. Workers plant the grass, build the eggmobiles, rotate different animals, cows and chickens mainly, and if you wanted, I could trace this all the way back to the wood that they used to build the barns, but I won't. So hurry, run to your farmer's market, and do good for Jessamine County and create jobs. You don't have to be a corporation, just a person who eats food. Food there may cost a little bit more, but isn't it worth it? Cleaner chicken and a stronger economy? Some farmers have to worry about paying bills to keep their farms alive. They need our support. Local food cuts down on pollution because food doesn't have to be shipped. Our food currently comes from the slow boat from China. Although it's usually an airplane, the phrase has it right. Most of the pollution created could be cut tremendously if we just spent a little more money at the farmer's market. The only pollution during shipping is just a small truck traveling about a mile. To quote Abraham Lincoln, 87 years ago. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but 87 years ago was 1924, and people hadn't been concerned or even knew about pollution. But if they had, I would give you some stats to compare today. Also, in 1924, almost all of the food was locally grown, and today none of it is. And their economy was not as bad as it is now. I'm not saying the fact that local food is the only thing that contributes to these factors, but what I am saying is if we buy local food, it will cut down on them. So don't be a disgusting food-eating, Jessamine economy-hating environmental herder. Take the small steps not to be one. Not all of your food has to be from the farmer's market, but your purchase can make the difference between having a great meal or having a terrible one. The difference between a home for a farmer and his workers and them being out on the streets. The difference between clean, breathable air and a polluted wasteland. So is it worth it to buy local? Yes. Yes, it is. Go out and buy some food. There is way more than chicken, I promise.
Yeah!